music students. Hello, Allie the cat. Hello, Allie the cat. Now you need to go away so we can do our music class. There, you've gotten to see the cat. You've gotten to see your music book. You have your red pen. You have your pencil. And hopefully the cat's tail will go away. It's time for us to do our very first lesson in our Kodaly Approach workbook number 3. Okay, so you should have your Kodaly Approach workbook number 3 handy, your red pen and pencil, and we're going to get started. We're going to do page 4, 5, 6, and 7. The first here is just a quick review. We're talking about different note values. We went over this in class. We're going to do it here. We talked about this guy, the whole note. There's his name. When we say him, we say ta. Okay, he gets how many beats? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using red, reminding us of the pulse, so I'll put a little heart there to remind you. Here is his cousin, the whole rest. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4 beats for him as well. Remember, he sleeps under the covers, or there's like a hole you fall into. That's the whole note. Then we go on and we cut a whole note in half and we get 2 half notes, okay? And that's what they look like. Go ahead and write those in. Half note, of course, you know how to spell half. 2 halves. And we're going to write him down here. And we're going to show how many beats he gets. He goes ta. Let's do that again. Ta. A half note gets 1, 2 beats, right? And his rest, he takes a shorter nap, so we put the covers down and he sleeps on top. There is the half rest. Be sure to color him in. And we went rest. Okay, he gets 2 beats of rest. Once we cut the whole note into fourths, we get what are called quarter notes. Ta, 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 ta. I'm going to go ahead and write here quarter note, quarter, okay? A quarter note is what we've always called ta, okay? We can write it like that, or we could write it like that, just a line. It's a quick way of writing it. And a ta is usually what gets 1 beat, so we're going to go ahead and mark that in. The rests that we know very well, that guy, it's a quarter rest, and he gets 1 beat as well, okay? Once we cut these down again, we're getting into what are called eighth notes. And eighth notes can be by themselves, like this, with a little flag lowered, or they can be connected. And you recognize these maybe as TTs, okay? I'm going to go ahead and write down an upside down TT here, okay? Eighth notes, and I'll do some separate ones here on the side. TT, oops, that guy's in the wrong place. There we go. This is an eighth note. You see, as we've cut them down, whole, half, quarter, eighth. Not only have they gotten to look different, they get colored in, they also get flags. And as you gain flags and you get colored in, you get faster. So we'll write TT here. It takes 2 T's, or 2 eighth notes, to make 1 beat. Okay? It takes 2 T rest, or 2 eighth rests, to make 1 beat. All right? Now one more note let's talk about down here, and that would be this guy. If you remember my stories, here he is. He's a 2 beat note, a half note. He accidentally sat on a quarter note, a ta, and now he has 3 beats. Okay? So 1, 2, the squished quarter note makes 3. It's a 3 beat note. Okay? And he gets 1, 2, 3 beats. All right, so that is the basic rhythm and their real names. So when you refer to them, oh, by the way, his name is dotted half note. Okay, we forgot to put that down. Refer to them by their real names, but when you clap them, you're going to clap them using these expressions, okay? That's page 4. Let's turn to page 5. Now, page 5, we have some fun here. We're going to be clapping and saying these rhythms, and then we're going to be adding in the beats. And then we're going to go down here and do some fun. So first thing, we have one in 2/4 or 2 ta. Some of you may know it as 2/4 time signature or 2 ta meter, 3/4 time signature or 3 ta meter, 4/4, and 3/4, okay? So get your hands ready and clap with me. Starting on this first one, it has 2 beats in each measure. 1, 2, clap and speak. Ta, ti, ti, ta. Ti, 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 ta. Rest, ta. Ti, 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 ta. Ti, 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 ta. Now you pick up your red pen, because now we're going to mark in the beat. The first beat I'll make a heart, so remember it's the pulse. Ta gets a beat, ti, ti gets a beat. ta, ti, 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 ta, rest, ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ta. So if you look underneath, because this is in 2-ta meter, you should see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way down. Now let's go to the next one. Let's clap and speak the rhythms here. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ti, 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 ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. Hopefully that wasn't too terribly hard. But now let's add in the beat. A half note gets 1, 2. A ta gets 1. And just in case you don't remember, we'll just put this right here so we can refer back to it. Ta gets 1 beat. Ti gets 1 beat. Ta gets 1 beat. This is ti, 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 ti. So it's 2 ti-tis, or 4 eighth notes. So a beat and a beat. Ta gets a beat. How many does the 3-beat note get? A dotted half? 1, 2, 3. Ti gets 1. Ta gets 1. Ti gets 1. Ta, 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 ah. And since this is 3-4 or 3 ta, 1, 2, 3, put a bar line 1, 2, 3, 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 1, 2. We're done. Okay, now moving on to the fourth one. Let's see if we can do this. Say the rhythm while marking in the beat. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. 2 beats. Ta, 2 beats. Ti gets 1. Ti, ti, rest. Rest gets a silent beat. Ti, ti, rest. Ta, ti, ti, ta. Ta, 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 ta. Ti, ti, rest. Ti, ti, ta, rest. And this is 4 ta or 4, 4, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, bar line 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We're done. If this doesn't make sense to you, do it with me anyways, because eventually it will click in your brain. But right now, just try it. For those of you that it makes sense, that's fabulous. If it doesn't make sense, it's still okay. All right, so now we're on this one, and we're going to go ahead and mark in the beat at the same time. This is Ti gets 1, ta, rest, ta, 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 ti, 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 ta, rest. What's going on here? Does anyone remember? Who is outside playing with water balloons? Oh, he closed and locked the door. He locked the guy out in the beginning. Yes, beat number 3 had to go around to the front. We call this an upbeat. Okay? Now, down here we have this rhythm. Ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti, ta. It's a question. So, in music, questions sort of have an idea, a musical idea. When there's an answer, it's kind of similar. So when there's a melody, it's a little bit different. We'll talk about that at a later date. But here we have ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti, ta. And now we're going to say something very similar. Ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, ta, ta. I need one more bar line in there. Beat, 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 eat. Okay? So they're very similar. Okay, how about this one? Ta, 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 rest. And then we could go like this. Let's go backwards. Ta, 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 ti, 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 ti. And let's do a 3-beat note. So there's a similarity in the patterns of the rhythms, but not exactly the same. So they go together. Now let's mark in the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that making sense? I hope so. And since you've so diligently decided to do this with me on the video, I'm going to go ahead and cross off the last one. Congratulations to you. Flip over the page. We're now on page 6. And let's go ahead and figure out the rhythm of Go Tell Aunt Rhody. So let's sing the song. Go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell Aunt Rhody, the old gray goose is dead. All right, right away I saw that rest, so I'm going to throw that in there. So we have, let's see if we can sing the rhythm. Ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, 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 ta. Make sense? Keep going. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, 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 ta. Rest. Okay? Let's mark in the beat for those. Ta is a beat, that's a beat, that's a beat, that's a beat, 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 silent beat. So it should be fairly straightforward. Hopefully this is making a lot of sense to you. Now again, since you're watching the video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scribble out cuckoo. And let's go to Are You Sleeping? All right, let's sing this song. Ready? Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Now first let's do Brother John, and Ding Ding Dong, because those could either be ding ding dong, ding ding dong. They could have a half note in them. That gets 2 beats, or they could be ding ding dong, rest, ding ding dong, rest. Let's do it that way for fun. So Brother John and Ding Ding Dong are very similar, so we're going to have ta ta ta, rest, ta ta ta, rest. And you notice that Brother John, my syllable lines up with my rhythm, okay? And then ding, ding, dong, rest. And just for fun, we'll end it like this, ding, ding, and put a 2-beat note, a half note, okay? So we had, are you sleeping? That's ta, 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 ta. And how about ta, 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 ta. Quickly put on my note heads so it looks like real music. Brother John, Brother John. How about this? Morning bells are ringing. Did you hear it? You should have heard ti 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 ta ta. So go ahead and put note heads on those real quick. And does it do the same thing? Morning bells are ringing. Yes, it does. Ti 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 ta ta. And then we have ding ding dong, ding ding dong. Quickly, we're going to throw in the beat here. Beat 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 beat. And there you go. You have completed page number 6. Page number 7 is just, we're only going to do the first line, okay? Just line number 1. It is a poem, okay? And it's about the lion and the mouse. Every word you speak, every syllable you say has a rhythm. So right now we're just going to come up with the rhythms on this top line for stanza number 1 of this poem. Let's read it. A lion prowling through the woods, in eager search for prey, by chance was caught within a net and could not get away. Okay, so you can sort of feel that that has a rhythm to it. Let's put it on our hands. Ready? A lion prowling through the woods. Do that again. A lion prowling through the woods. Hopefully your brain heard ta, ti, 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 ta, right? I'm going to quickly throw some note heads on there so it looks like real music. All right, so there's the very first part of it, first phrase. In eager search for prey. In eager search for prey. Ooh, I heard a silent beat there at the end, so I'm going to put a rest here, okay? In was a ta. And then eager search for prey. What'd you hear? Yeah, I think I did too. I heard a teet tee, ta. All right, now let's go to the next line. By chance was caught within a net. By chance was caught within a net. Does that sound like the first line? I think it does. Say it with me while we write it. Ta, teet tee, ta. And then the last line. And could not get away. And could not get away. Rest. I feel a rest there at the end. Does that sound like this part here? I think it does too. And teet tee, ta. Clap it and say it with me and we will be done. Ready? A lion prowling through the woods in eager search for prey. Rest. By chance was caught within a net and could not get away. Rest. Great job.